Have you ever heard of the Hello Kitty murder? In May of 1999, a terrified 14-year-old girl walked into a Hong Kong police station claiming she was being haunted by a woman's ghost. At first, police dismissed her, thinking, it's just some kid who's scared of the dark. But then she admitted she'd helped her 27-year-old boyfriend and his friends do something horrible. And no, that supposed relationship isn't even anywhere near the worst part of this case. In early 1999, 23-year-old Fan Man Yi was struggling to keep her life together. She'd grown up in an orphanage, was forced out at 16, and turned to drugs and prostitution just to get by. She had a husband and a young son, but was still battling addiction, which was making the money situation rather tight. One night, in February of 1990, Fan made a choice that would cost her everything. She stole a wallet from 34-year-old Chan Man Lok, a gang leader tied to the Wo Shing Wo triad. Inside the wallet was around $4,000. Chan found out quickly. He demanded she repay him the full amount, along with an additional $10,000 in interest. Fan managed to repay the original amount, but couldn't cover the steep interest. And Chan wasn't just angry about this, he wanted revenge. In March of 1999, after not receiving the interest, Chan, along with his two friends, Lung Xing Cho, who was the 27-year-old, and Lung Wei Lun, who was 21, kidnapped Fan. They took her to a filthy, rundown apartment on Granville Road in Sim Sha Sui. That's where the torture began. For over a month, they beat her with metal bars, burned her with candles and melted plastic, and even forced her to consume human feces and urine. They rubbed spices into her wounds and burned her feet to keep her from escaping. Sometimes they even made her dance and laugh during the torture, all while starving her. Fan eventually died from her injuries or starvation. What happened isn't really certain. But even death wasn't enough for them. They dismembered her body and boiled the remains to prevent decomposition. They discarded most of her remains in the trash, but kept her skull, cooking it until it was completely clean. It wasn't out of guilt or even paranoia. It was just pure cruelty. They sewed the skull into a large Hello Kitty mermaid doll and kept it as some sort of twisted trophy of their brutality. And here's where the 14-year-old comes back into the story. Her name was Ah Feng, and she was present the entire time. She even participated in the abuse. According to her, she only confessed because she believed Fan's ghost was haunting her. She was offered immunity for her testimony, so she ended up walking away free. After a 6-week trial in November of 2000, all 3 men were convicted of manslaughter and unlawful imprisonment. The jury couldn't conclusively prove that they intended to kill Fan, only that they tortured her until she died, which I think is ridiculous. They were sentenced to life in prison, but became eligible for parole after 20 years. And this is the story that became infamously known as the Hello Kitty murder. If you have any cases you'd like to see covered, please leave them in the comments below, and make sure to hit that follow button so you can be notified when I post them.